What is up, gamers? Staxwell's back at it again today with another market watch. A lot to get into, a lot to talk about today. Azalea won the calling. People are gearing up for the ProQuest season. People are finally starting to figure out the mechanologist heroes. A lot of movement on the market because of all this. A lot to talk about, but before we get started, special shout out to stompinggroundstcg.com for sponsoring the channel. This is a sponsored post. I wouldn't bring you guys just some kind of Raid Shadow Legends type ad here. I would only really run it if I thought it was a good deal, if I thought it was helping people out. And I do very much think that that's the case here. So we have a promo code. It's promo code Staxwell. Any Flesh and Blood products that you purchase here, this is only going to apply to Flesh and Blood, not Magic or anything like that. Just Flesh and Blood. So whatever cash you use to buy the Flesh and Blood products, you will be getting a gift card emailed to you within the business day equal to 20% of whatever amount you use to buy the Flesh and Blood cards, right? If you spent $100, 20% of that, you'd be getting a $20 gift card emailed to you. It doesn't have to be in increments of 100 or anything like that. I'm just using that as an example. This only applies to the Flesh and Blood stuff, but I do encourage you guys to check out some of the other stuff. Like if we go to the card sleeves here, $8 for the Dragon Shields. We've all been to locals. We know that LGSs like to charge $12, $13 for these sleeves. So go ahead, stock up on some sleeves while you're at it. But you guys are really only going... I mean, that's going to help me, help the channel, but you guys are really only getting the benefits with the Flesh and Blood cards. So let's just run through it real quick. Say you wanted... around the table, you and the boys wanted to grab a few of these, so you wanted to add 4 of those to your cart. I already had 4 in here for my example, but that would cost you $240. If we pull up the calc, 20% of that is $48. So again, within the business day, you would be getting that $48 gift card emailed to you, so long as you type in promo code Staxwell, and you would do that here, and then you would get it to this contact email. So make sure that contact email is accurate and that promo code is there with a little tag. If you see this, it's working. If you type it in wrong or something like that, it won't pop up here. It's just not gonna work. So as long as it's down here, capitals, not capitals, I don't actually think it matters. But as long as it looks like this, you're good. You'll get that gift card emailed to you. Alternatively, instead of doing all of this, you could just go to TCG Player, buy the exact same product for the exact same price, and get no additional benefit to it. So this is very clearly a win for not only you guys, but for the channel as well. And huge shout out to Stomping Grounds. This is my local LGS. I know the owner personally. Great guy, great deals. Again, I wouldn't run it. I wouldn't run this ad if I didn't think it was. So go ahead, make sure you check those guys out. That's all I got. Let's just go ahead, jump straight back into the market watch here. Emperor Drakai of Asir. The cold foil is at $16, $17. Kind of insane if you think about it. This is the highest obtainable version of this card, right? I think a big thing holding this hero back as well is Kano, because he's just a red line deck, obviously. So he doesn't have the resources to be able to AB reliably or AB consistently, I guess I should say. So I think once Kano's gone, he's going to be much more of a force to be reckoned with. And when he is, you want to be dripped out with him, I think. I mean, you have to have a copy of him anyway. The regular is like $9, so you might as well just go ahead, jump on, and get the cold foil for $18. I think it's a great pickup. Redback Shroud cold foil, same thing. It's like $20 right now. If the assassins sneak back into the meta, they're obviously not going to be playing Tunic in Blitz specifically. So I think Redback Shroud will be a good Blitz card for all of the assassins that are going to see play once these better heroes like Chain and Kano and Kasai, once they all rotate out. We're going to be looking to heroes like Uzuri or Arachne Solitary Confinement. And Redback Shroud, I think, will be the go-to for those heroes. Tunic is just far too slow for Blitz in the current metagame. So I could definitely see Redback Shroud seeing some play. I don't think a lot of people are looking at that or thinking about that. That's why a cold foil legendary is only $20. Looming Doom, this has always been one of the most interesting cards in Flesh and Blood to me. So the Looming Doom extended art for only $14 just rings all type of whistles to me, saying it's a good deal. The amount of value, the calculated points of value, if you will, if we're applying the Hamilton theory to this, it's just, you can't even calculate it, right? If you had 10 rune chants and you shot them all and then you activated creepers, flashed this in, destroyed the 10 rune chants, they still deal those 10 points of value. Plus you have literally 20 points of value on this Looming Doom. just kind of putting your opponent on a ever ticking clock. It's actually insane, you know, for like 2 cards you get 20 points of value. Theoretically, theory will only get you so far, I know, but again, one of the most interesting cards probably ever printed in this game to me. So when I see the extended art for so cheap, I think it's a good pickup. Plasma mainline. This is what I was talking about when I think people have started to figure out the mechanologist problem, the mechanologist questions, I guess. We Make Best made a pretty interesting dash deck, so I think a lot of people are trying to pick up the cards and cook with that. So cheapest plasma mainline on the market is $8. I think if you're gonna pick it up, then, you know, instead of paying $8 for the regular one, I actually do think it's worth it to just pay $30 for the cold foil. If you're playing Dash, it's going to start out on the field. You want everything you start on the field with to be a little dripped out, you know what I mean? But even if not, the rainbow is $12. I don't like paying $8 for a Majestic that everyone's only playing one of. I think that's a bit inflated. But the foil prices for these cards, I think, are actually a bit undervalued. So I would recommend picking up the foils. Flamescale Furnace. A lot of people are looking to Dromai, picking up that deck. She's not going to rotate anytime soon. So people are kind of investing in her as a safe investment for the metagames moving forward. We all know she's powerful as well. So she'll probably be here for quite some time. The cheapest rainbow foil on the market is $100 now, which is huge because, you know, just like a month ago or something, it was $130, and then a month before that, it was $80, $70. So this card is just like going all types of up and down. But with the rainbow being $100 and the cold foil only being $130, I absolutely recommend getting those cold foil guys. Even after this card is long, unplayable, banned, whatever, there's no Draconic Heroes left, the cold foil will retain so much more value than the rainbow foil ever will. So just to protect your long-term investments, if you could afford it in the short term, I always recommend picking up the cold foils, especially when the prices are that close together. I also do want to look at just all the dragons in general. These cards, again, because of Dromai's rising popularity, are just like kind of going up and down like crazy. Tumultai was $250 just last week. Now he's back down to $175. Same could be said for Dominia as well. All the regular dragons, a lot of them are cooling down. They were all at like 40 a week ago, and then now some of them like Necria, Themai, they're dropping down to like the $20 range. Uvia, $20. So yeah, Dromai is still very popular, but the market got wiped out like last week, and it's finally starting to heal, starting to recover. Runeblood Incantation, the extended art. I don't know if you guys remember, but when Vincent was getting spoiled, we talked about this card, and it was like $30 for the cheapest extended art out of Everfest. Now it's down to $10. So if you have any interest in Vincent, the thing that moves these heroes, or that moves these cards, I guess I should say, that moves the market in general, this is the #1 market mover in all of Flesh and Blood, is competitive play. Competitive play is the one and only thing that moves this market. Collectors, they can't move it like competitive play can. So if Vincent ever becomes the best hero, right? Say like Lexi and Icelander are gone, whatever, Vincent's the best hero. All the Vincent cards are going to go absolutely crazy. Same way New Horizons did, same way Codex of Frailty did, same way, you know, every time there's a best hero, all the cards go crazy, right? Same way Hamilton made Heart of Fendal go crazy. Like, competitive play moves the market. And because Runeblade Incantation isn't expensive right now, it's this cheap. But as soon as this card is competitive, as soon as Vincent is competitive, this card will go crazy again. It was $25 on speculation. She might be good. Imagine if Vincent won something, right? Imagine if Vincent won a Pro Tour. You'll see all these cards go crazy. Reduced to Rune Chant. This is another one. So I'm not just saying this stuff, you know. I kind of do practice what I preach a little bit. And I'm picking up Vincent cards right now. I think that hero will be good one day. There's a lot of heroes I think will be good one day, though, right? Vincent, Rhinar is one that people aren't looking at right now. Assassin people aren't looking at right now. There's a lot, right? So I'm not just saying like, oh, go out and pick up Vincent cards. I'm just saying go out and pick up the cards no one's looking at, right? That could be good one day. In this example, it just so happens to be Vincent. So reduced to Rune Chant, the extended art rainbow foil. I went and I bought a playset of these, right? Look, these 3 were me. And then someone bought another, and now they're completely gone. It's so crazy. These cards could disappear in a moment. I don't bring this up to say like, haha, I got a playset. but I'm saying like this could happen to any of the other cards, right? So don't like just wait for it to get good, wait for the price to spike, wait for the cards to disappear. You know, I'm sure this card will recover on the market. Keep an eye on it. I'm sure more people will list it as, especially like when I upload this video, people will watch it and be like, I got 6 of those. I'll throw them up there. So keep an eye on this card. You know, this card will probably replenish in the coming days. If not, there's still like the extended art non-foil one, and that one's only a couple bucks, like $5-10, and there's not that many of those either. This is probably one of the best, like if you think about it from a value perspective, a lot of times this is a 0 for 5 D-React, so one of the best D-Reacts in the game. Like not even Sync Below is theoretically this good. Sure, you need to have the Rune Chant token, but like the way the deck is set up, you're pretty much always going to have a Rune Chant token. Yeah, just a lot to think about. You know, these cards disappear, especially these old promos. Think like Extended Art Underloop, things like that. Keep an eye on all this stuff. Keep an eye on the heroes no one else is looking at right now. For this second, we're talking about Vincent, and I do think all of these are still good pickups. No one's looking at any of it, you know what I mean? This round's on me. I do think Katsu, once Lexi rotates, is going to be the premier aggro deck. It's already right on that line. It's already so close to competitive. Well, it actually, like, I mean, it objectively is competitive, right? It's just not the best aggro deck. It always sneaks into the top 8, whether it's a Battle Harden, a Calling, whatever. It's always in the top 8. It's always in day 2. It always has good conversion rates. Like, the deck is already good, so it's already probably the second best aggro deck. Not a lot of people are cooking with it. So once all the Lexi players can't play Lexi anymore and they're looking to a new aggro deck, they're probably going to turn their attention to Katsu. When they do, competitive players are going to start picking up this rounds on me. Competitive players move this market in ways that no one else can. So once everyone starts soaking up all the this rounds on me, it's an Everfest Majestic. Fans of the channel know what happens to Everfest Majestic. Majestics, when people start playing them, they go absolutely crazy. Back in like the Stubby Fi days, this card shot up to like $15-20. Right now it's at $8. Just kind of prepare yourself, get ready for it. The rainbow foil is at like $10. So something to look out for. I just want to like kind of bring up the tunics. The cheapest Crucible of War tunic is $73. Cheapest Bright Light tunic is $70. Cheapest white border tunic is $112. We've officially reached the point where people would rather have white borders than black borders. I kind of agree with it, and we talked about it on the channel before this black border tunic came out in Bright Lights, that I think these white border cards are actually going to start being a little bit sought after, and people are going to start wanting them and preferring them to some of their black border counterparts. Of course, this wouldn't apply to like cold foils and things like that, but it seems like whenever they reprint cards in sets, it's always black border, so the white border is almost like a safe investment in a weird way, in that we almost know that they're never going to reprint it in white. Of course, the rainbow foil is still king, you know, holding value over all of them. Construct Nitro Mechoid, rainbow foil is $50, and the cheapest cold foil on the market is pretty much $80. There's one up here for $70, and then they jump to $80. So kind of insane. And I actually bring this up because Dynasty's looking kind of juicy now, is it not? Like, there's just so many hits in it now. Whereas like when the set first came out, it was kind of mid, but now we have Crown of Dominion because of the new Dromai. Everyone's playing it, so all versions of Crown of Dominion are money. Even the rainbow foil is $55. Cold foil is like $90. Bonnie Blaster people are still trying to cook with. That's $80. Like Black Tech Whisper is always a good card. CNC, the Marvel Emperor, you could always just like go crazy with those. Soraya, like everything has just kind of gone up slowly but surely over time. And then even if we go to the second page here, there's like still quite a bit of big hits. Pulse Wave Harpoon, $20 for the cheapest Majestic. This set is almost like the new Everfest in that like the value is just like slowly creeping back into play. Except the difference is I don't think the cold foils are as bad in this as they are in Everfest. Like in Everfest, you could open like a potion, a healing potion or something, right? Whereas in this, you get a cold foil Mask of Perdition, cold foil Plasma Mainline, cold foil Powder Cake, cold foil Imperial Edict. Like these cards are just like way better than the Everfest ones are. A lot of like insane variance hits too. You could just pull $1,000 card. I don't think there's any other card in the game any other set in the game you could just pull $1,000 card outside of like serialized cards or whatever. But yeah, huge value that is not expected in Dynasty, that didn't used to be in Dynasty, is now here. This set is kind of like coming from the back and like re-performing well, you know what I mean? I do think that the most valuable set right now, the highest EV set, if you will, is going to be Dusk Till Dawn. Look at this. The whole first page hits like bangers, bro. And then you go to the second page and the bangers keep coming. We got legendaries, Figment of Angel for $17, Imperium Rapture, Starstruck, Extended Art Spoiled Skull. These other figments are $9 each. Meeps is $7. These Majestics are just holding so much value. This has to be pound for pound highest EV in the game. Highest EV in the game. If I was to be buying a set with promo code Staxwell from StompingGroundsTCG.com, I think I would do Dusk Till Dawn. Like, these cards are just a little too enticing to me. The like pretty much 2 pages of hits in there, I think you have the highest expected value. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and help the algorithm out just a little bit. Later, gamers.